Shalom, shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, Yahweh being true name, Heavenly Father, Yahushai being named for his only begotten Son, who the world eagerly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, a great millstone, Natasha's truth and will, and salutations to you, hopefully pushing this truth and honesty and sincerity. This is Brother Yawasap, coming to another lesson to the spirit power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. And this lesson is going into this great whore and this beast of Babylon the Great is lifting up her skirt, and the Lord is causing it to happen. And the skirt of the wicked is being exposed too. A lot of exposure happening, man. I'm going to start out with a precept that comes to mind on this topic. This is the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Okay, so the Lord is against, Esau, Edom, and his nation that he's built up as Babylon the Great. And he's also against the wicked, which is 2/3 of our people. Okay, and right now, everybody that's been doing evil in the dark is being exposed and being judged. And the Lord is basically revealing to all of who these people really are, man. Speaking about the wicked. Okay, so the Lord says he's against thee. All right, and he's going to discover thy skirts upon thy face. This goes into exposing these devils. All right. And right now, what you got exposed is what's happening in the media. DJ Trump is in another scandal. All right. They're spreading, rumor has it that he was topping off Bill. Okay. And they had the recorded evidence of it. And that was, I guess, being held as, to be used as blackmail. And they found it, in the Epstein files and emails. I guess it was emails that was released. And that's just one little thing that got exposed on it. I guess the Senate just approved to have the whole thing, brung out. But we'll see, man. We'll see. But none of it's surprising. None of it's surprising at all. We've been telling y'all that the Illuminati, the elites, the Rothschilds, that's how these people get down. They do a lot of rituals. You got to engage in homosexual acts for sacrifices up in, Hollyweird. And you got to actually do blood rituals too. There's a lot of stuff that's being done in the dark. And on Epstein Island, it all was done there, man. All and more. And he's got more than one island, man. Just best believe that. And I'm almost positive that guy is not dead. They said he died in prison, but all of a sudden nobody ever seen his body. No, nothing. Nothing in, no obituary. Seen him in a coffin. Nothing. This guy that had that much blackmail and power and pull over everybody, he's untouchable, man. He even had some senators involved. But hey, the Lord though is showing you people, how wicked this nation really is. Because for so many years, they want to sing God Bless America and this and that and this and that. Oh, it's a great opportunity to be in the land of the free. How blessed you are to be here. Blah, 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 man. But meanwhile, what took to get to that comfortability in the United States is a lot of slavery, a lot of human trafficking, a lot of sacrifices, rituals. And it's done like clockwork and has never stopped to allow them to get the money and power to do all these things and have this place to where it's currently at. But the Lord, is doing away with that whole everybody, look at America as such a fucking innocent, God-fearing country. Because he's exposing these leaders for who they really are, man. Here it is, you got two presidents. Pretty much one of the two, most most talked about president, popular wise amongst the people, has a lot of controversy and stuff. Both of them is being exposed right here. Okay, and then meanwhile, even amongst the Hebrew Israelite community, look what's happening. Okay, these two basically fell out. All right, they once were Shikari, and then they split. All right, and everybody brought dirt on the leader, Alazar, and then the guy to the right, he goes by Deacon. Now he's exposing him for doing the same acts that got him exposed, which is playing with, another man's behind, man. And he called it engaging in anal pleasures. So the Lord is exposing these devils, man. All right? Basically, the wicked period are being exposed. The Lord is in the spirit right now, lifting up the skirt, and we're beginning to see the true colors of these people. This is Luke 12:2. It says, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which have spoken in the ear and closet shall be proclaimed upon the housetops." And right now, but this is like a mass spiritual level. There's a lot of things going on where bad people are getting fucked up or are getting exposed for what they've been getting away with, what it feels like for centuries, man. Even on a personal level, like in your personal life, a lot of you have probably heard of something recently happening to someone you knew that was just a terrible person. The Lord is giving out judgments right now. And whatever people have been doing in secret is being exposed and coming to the light. People are being shown for who they really are. But there ain't nothing that you can do in secret and think Yahweh Shem Shai doesn't see. So all these elites, they engage in all these rituals and parties and stuff like that. They think that the Lord doesn't see them or the Lord doesn't exist to stop them. In some cases, they know the Lord exists, but they just don't worship the Lord. They worship the spiritual demon Satan. So they're heavy in the witchcraft because they understand that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So they worship the wicked to get the wicked's blessings. But with the wicked's blessings also comes the other side of the coin, because you have to remember, Satan himself was created by Yahweh. Okay? So, and he also answers to him and his only begotten son. He doesn't just work on his own accord and do his own thing. He has to get a permission before he strikes. You've seen that in the book of Job. Okay, so but eventually, Satan is allowed to give out blessings, but he's also allowed to give out. He has to, at the tail end of that, give out the punishment for bowing down to him, selling your soul, man. Eventually it's a fine print. It comes with a price, and that price is usually deadly or extremely devastating. Once that price has to be fulfilled. So this whole nation is about to go through that as far as seeing that price that has to be fulfilled, but when it gets judged by fire. Thermonuclear world war is going to happen, all right? And this place is going to get obliterated. All right, and leading up to that, there's going to be all sorts of chaos, collapses going on, famines and starvations, plagues hitting. Okay, so it's going to be bad all the way through, man. Okay, like the scriptures say, Jeremiah 50:14 says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All the ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she has sinned against Yahweh." So once the Lord gets mad, man, that's it. You're gonna get the whole wrath. He's not gonna let up. The scriptures talk about they have to completely, if they have 100,000 warheads, it says spare no arrows. So all those warheads are going to be shot off from all these different nations over here. Okay, so the Lord is basically putting that spirit right now, because you got a lot of countries that's looking at America and the country Israel, and what's happening, what's going on, and they ain't having it. They're starting to team up and get ready to come against this place. So the Lord is spiritually doing that too to the wicked people of our nation, even Israelites. You know, the Lord's putting a spirit on Nero that's getting exposed right now to come up with a lot of draconian laws that's gonna really, fuck up Jake. They fucked up with their food for like a month, and that's just the beginning. Remember, this is just year one. We're not even through with year one yet. We're not even through the full year, and look how much has happened. He got ICE raids. Okay, he's taking away y'all's benefits, your housing, your Section A, your food stamps. You're threatening and fucking with that. All right. He's going in your hoods on helicopters, arresting people, coming after quote unquote gangs, and using it as an excuse to target Jake. So the Lord is just bringing out all time judgment, man. Okay, so check out this video I'm gonna play real quick. All right, this goes more exposure of Esau Edom and things that he was doing. With these Epstein files being released, this is starting to put the spirit of hatred, towards Esau Edom and this nation.
Why is not a single person talking about the fact that on Epstein Island there is a temple used to worship Moloch? Out of all the demons in existence, this is the most disgusting one by a landslide. More people need to be aware of this because this is what's really happening behind closed doors, not some Ryan Garcia publicity stunt crap. This is what's actually happening. Moloch is the demon that specializes in child sacrifice, and this is what these elites are all worshiping. They've been flying out to this island, getting together with their parties, going inside of this temple, and performing rituals involved in what I just explained. By the way, guys, this is the exact same thing that's being worshipped during the red heifer rituals. Moloch is the demon of the cow or bull. That's the image it represents. And I want you guys to really understand this. People in Israel have been worshiping Moloch forever. It's talked about even in Leviticus 18:21. Let me clarify. It has been happening so long that it is even mentioned in the Bible, and the Bible tells us not to sacrifice or give children to Moloch. This is how common it is and how long it's been happening. The whole Epstein files, Epstein list thing, it will always come back to this. And you guys can maybe not believe me now, but you are my witness on this. Once the rest of these files come out, it is all going to relate back to that temple and worship for Moloch.
So there you have it, man. And best believe they're not going to allow everything to come out. All right? Because ultimately the people that was involved in that island and did that shit is in charge of the people that is saying release the files. So they going, they already done, they had plenty of time to bring them files out. Notice how they held on to it for so long. It looked like they had some cleaning up to do to remove certain pieces that files they don't want the public to see. So they're going to show you what they want you to believe. And they're going to show you based off of what reaction they want you to have. Okay? But hey, this is what this place is involved with, man. And the Lord is exposing it.
Some names from...
Now, you got to listen to how far the rabbit hole goes, man. Because he's about to read a list of names. That's just part of the list of everybody that's been to that damn island with them. And best believe everybody that went there had to get involved with some shit. Because you can see what they busted in his mansion in the States. Let alone on an island where you got nobody around to see what's going on. For you to get on the plane and go to a remote location like that, hey, this guy had a lot of dirt on people. But listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a list of names from the Epstein flight logs.
All right, these are the people that were on Epstein Island, confirmed by multiple sources. Bill Clinton, George Mitchell, Alex Baldwin, Ralph Fiennes, George Hamilton, Dustin Hoffman, Kevin Spacey, Liz Hurley, Laura Hutton, Janice Dixon, Naomi Campbell, Christy Turlington, Henry Kissinger, which may be one of the most evil men on the world.
He is, yeah.
Joan Rivers, Courtney Love, Mick Jagger, Courtney Guest, Phil Collins, Simon LeBon, Charlie Rose of PBS, Richard Branson, Candace Bushel, Tom Ford, Vera Wang, Nadia Byerlin, Co Stark, and here's some more. Seth Green, James Gunn, Dan Schneider, Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, Stephen Colbert, Kevin Spacey, Kathy Griffin, Oprah Winfrey, Sean Carter, Beyonce Knowles, Anthony Kiedis, John Legend, Christy Teigen Tyler, Ben Affleck, Stephen Collins, Will Ferrell, Eminem, Jeffrey Jones, Victor Salva, Mark Rector, Charlie Sheen, Tyler Grasham, Madonna, Catherine Hudson, Gwen Stefani, Stefani Germota, James Franco, Will Smith. Oh, has Will Smith been in the news lately? Justin Rowland, John Cusack, Anderson Cooper, Demi Moore, Brian Affleck, Meryl Streep, Wanda Sykes, Chelsea Handler, Michelle Wolf, Pharrell Williams, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Downey Jr. They are petrified of that list and what those films getting out. They have all the videos of all those people at work.
Really?
Yep. It's going to get ugly. They're in panic mode.
So are they going to release those videos? Or what do they do with them?
I'm told that, well, it's looking like they're holding it back, that one person has control of that. But I am told other people have them and are going to release them at the right time.
So that's the big question. The level of involvement, a lot of very wealthy and famous people travel in small circles. So you have to look how often these people came to the island. Was it functions? Was it parties at the island, or was it specifically involved in these sex parties and stuff? And also, how much did the people going there know? Now, I know that I'm playing it safe, and I mean, it looks bad, of course. It looks really bad. You have to wonder, though, is everybody, because it's a scissor, you get a picture with Epstein. Does that mean you're involved? Ladies and gentlemen.
It's Leviticus 18:21. It says, "Thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am Yahweh." All right, so all these sacrifices and these rituals and stuff, man, the Lord is showing you, hey, this has actually been going on, because the prophet's been telling you this stuff, but y'all want to call us crazy and cult members and things, but yet everything we've been telling y'all has been the truth. Because I become your enemy because I tell you the truth. But see, the Lord is showing you, man. You had all these celebrities and everybody on that list. They all have different parts to play in the United States. A lot of them, were celebrities on that list, but what he didn't mention names is the list goes on and on and on. You have judges and high politicians and even military members and stuff going in and out of there. Okay? And, people going there, basically that's their initiation into getting involved in these different secret societies. They had to do things there. Okay? And people seen a lot of stuff too. That's just one island. Like, there's other places in the United States, like Bohemian Grove. Okay? That's just one place that they're, quote unquote, exposing and letting you hear what you heard about what's going on. But the Lord is, eventually going to bring everything to light that this devil's done and been doing. Right now he's receiving his sentence. Okay? And he's about to go serve his time. And so we're reading out the account and all the charges that are associated with getting that sentence. That's what's happened with Esau, Edom. Now we go back to taking a look at what's going on in our nation. You got wicked men out there, man. Okay, this is the head of Genesis. He calls himself deacon. Okay. Listen what they now teach. Now remember the foundations, the basic principles when you come into this truth, is you learn who salvation is for, who are the Israelites and who are not. The true name of the Heavenly Father. You learn you're Israelite, our tribes and our ways, and you start learning about prophecies. Okay, but some of the beginning basics that we teach is that the Lord is coming to save Israelites. He's not coming to save everybody. But look who switched up that tone.
Non-Israelites can receive salvation. First and foremost, let's give all praises, honor, and glory to our
I mean, now look. This is the same guy, man. I mean, how y'all gonna even push? How you guys even gonna push? What the message of being an Israelite is in the culture anymore? If now you're gonna let all nations up in there, because if they can receive salvation, why are they in there with y'all? Just a lot of these Israelite groups are just turning basically back into Christianity. IUIC is pretty much there at that point. Before they start proclaiming this too, that all nations can be saved. So which will prophets that are Hebrew Israelites are staying to what we were taught and what the Lord says to teach? It's really Great Millstone's the only ones, holding the line. And other camps that follow the same doctrine. But hey, these guys are completely sold out